Welcome to the Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul. Your dynamic host and founder, Sue Lundquist, will bring you her own intuitive talents and gifts for co-creating, healing, and teaching. Her show, The Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul, is focused on bringing you to a higher place each week where you can leave the hustle of life at the door. So pull up a chair and join us for The Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul. It's all good.
It's all good. So welcome, you guys. Pacific Northwest. Holy macaroni and cheese. Look at that. It is absolutely stunning.
Now, see, that's what I could use right now.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Just a little bit.
All right, Uber drivers, we need some mac and cheese delivered. What's your favorite? My daughter likes Panera, the mac and cheese.
Doesn't
Panera.
matter. I think you just labeled it with just mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Doesn't matter.
Done.
I don't care how it's made. Just get it done.
Get it done. Well, you guys, welcome. Obviously, this is your host, Sue Lundquist, and we have got some amazing special guests in studio today. Obviously, we are taking calls today, so I'm going to shout out to the phone number, and then I'm going to do some housekeeping. We've got 1-888-298-5569. And Nadine, good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Finally, I'm back to normal. I was sick all last week, so.
That's not good. Your body was. Your body was.
My body was, but my mind wasn't, I guess.
No. I'm excited. We already have callers calling in. We have extra guests in studio. Do you feel the buzz already?
Oh, I do. I'm so excited.
Yes, so excited. And I told our special guests that are in studio that if something pops, I'm going to let you take the reins because, I'm a little emotionally invested with these two in here. So I just wanted to make sure we had a clear reading if that happens.
Absolutely.
All right. So, again, you have joined in. It's the Gratitude Cafe. Sue Lundquist here. I'm so excited that you guys are joining us. And quite honestly, you followed your intuition, and your intuition led you here. So, congratulations. Good start. Remind all of you to, if you do get a reading, or if you want to know more about my events, the 16-day Craziness Clarity Challenge, the Craziness Clarity events, where I'm going to be, please make sure that you sign up for the newsletter, and that's SueLundquist.com/newsletter. And of course, you could just go to SueLundquist.com, and there's going to be a ton of information listed right there. Of course, Nadine, if you want to get some readings with Nadine, you'll need to go to Facebook to find Nadine. Nadine, it's just Nadine Greca, or is it Nadine Greca Evidential Medium?
No, it's just Nadine Greca, and if you Google me, you'll find me too. I'm the only one in the world.
Yep, and rightfully so. So you'll love this, Nadine. I've got a guest that I'm going to bring on in a couple weeks, but I'm going to talk about her today. I can't wait to say this, but let me get to my housekeeping and do that all first. I want to remind all of you about my events that I'm taking to Seattle. We've got an event in Colorado. We're planning an event in Spain, Vancouver, and Mexico. And it's the Craziness to Clarity. It's your template for transformation. If you want to increase your wealth, your vitality, empowerment, do you want to learn new mindset tools and strategies to reclaim your personal power? How about create a new inner program that integrates the higher energies of 5D into your 3D life? And of course, making lasting change. What about shutting down that drunk monkey? You guys have heard me talk about that drunk monkey. How about learning the language of setting respectful and effective boundaries? And I say this specifically, languaging boundaries, because you guys have heard me and myself and Nadine talk about how we want to love and nurture people, but we also need to be able to take care of ourselves and also set up respectful boundaries. So we help you. I help you do that with the Craziness Clarity platform and the template for transformation. So go to SueLundquist.com. You've got plenty of opportunities to work with me one-on-one, the 16-day Craziness Clarity Challenge, and of course the live events and soon to be book. All right, let's do housekeeping. Of course, you're here, new perspective, new thoughts, new ideas, and hopefully a new you, still you, just version 2.0. So I have a bunch of superstars, one of which is Josh Parkinson with Resonate Brand. Resonate helps you build beautiful mobile-friendly websites, but more importantly, they help you build a web strategy that helps your business attract new customers, grow following, and get higher in the search listings. And if you want to create an online course or membership that sells automatically without you lifting a finger, they can help you build and sell that too. So please, this is your call to action. Contact Resonate Web Leadership for a free consultation. See what options they have for you. Never hurts to just contact and see what options they have. Contact them through www.resonateweb.agency. All right, Miss Nadine, darling, we're taking calls today. We already have Colleen from Virginia on the phone, but we're going to keep her on.
I'm just queuing her up.
Okay, queuing her up.
Thing.
Okay, doing the thing. So Nadine, I came across this gal. Her name is Micah. And you know what she does? She literally, if you are in a process of wanting to have a baby and are having issues, challenges with not being able to get pregnant, she has been doing this successfully for years, literally touching people and getting pregnant. Isn't that amazing?
That's so amazing.
So amazing. Incredible. So she empowers conception. I'm so excited.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And her story is life-changing. How when she was younger, she was visited and saw all these amazing, incredible, angelic beings. And I can't wait to bring her on. So that's February 19th. So I guess is that next month? Are we in February, Benny? Are we in June?
Not yet. A couple more days.
Thank you. Yeah, so isn't that incredible? I'm super excited.
That's so exciting. I love stuff like that.
I know.
Can you imagine? Goosebumps. That's
I
so
know.
exciting.
I know. So I'm excited to bring Mike on. So audience, we have a full studio today. Obviously, we have Benny behind the scenes doing all of his Superman stuff. And I have two special guests. You guys hear me talk about Dr. Joe Dispenza and my travels and my honor to be a part of that whole tribe. And part of that love tribe is right here with me. You guys introduce yourselves. I don't know who wants to start.
Well, my name is Andrew Wright, and I live in this area as well. Love it, and been working with Dr. Joe and part of his events for 5+ years. I've known him for many years and been doing the work for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Can we plug you? What do you do? Tell the world.
Live event producer, video producer, audio-visual producer, technical director, those kind of things.
Yes, the Superman also behind the scenes. And you're over here bubbling. Go, girl.
Hi, my name is Kasia. I'm life coach and leadership coach. I teach self-love and actually conscious leadership. And I currently live in South Florida.
Currently. And what have we been doing for the last 24 hours?
Well, in the last 24 hours, we had beautiful production. And we've been filming around and getting some footage for my personal business.
Yes. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you and remind them what you do.
I am a life coach and leadership coach, and you can reach me at www.kasiajamroz.com.
How do you spell that?
KasiaJamroz.com.
Yay! Just in case you may have heard a slight accent, just a slight one. Right, Benny? Just slightly.
Does my Chicago come through a little bit? Is that what you're hearing?
It must be that. It must be that.
I can totally tell.
Yeah, totally tell. All right, guys, should we go ahead and jump on the lines? And I would love for you guys to just soak this up and feel it and love and all of that. Nadine, are you ready, babe?
Yeah, you betcha.
You betcha. All right, Benny, we have our first caller. I want to remind everybody we are taking calls today, 1-888-298-5569. And, of course, 425-373-5527. And we have Colleen from Virginia. Hello, Colleen.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
This is so exciting.
You called at the right time, didn't you? Because we're going to...
I did.
Yay.
And it was so funny how you said the intuition. And it's because I was like, nah, I'm probably not going to do it. I'll do it. I have to take a stool sample to the vet. So,
oh, jeez.
So I'm waiting for that.
Priorities of Tuesday morning.
Yeah, priorities. A stool sample. That is funny. Well, hopefully...
to the vet, not to my doctor.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Audience, welcome to the Vet Show. We're talking stool samples today. What can we help you with, love?
Well, I did your 16 Craziness to Clarity challenge with my daughter, and it's so funny of how I am really, really, really becoming aware of so many things that I just used to take for granted before. So I thank you for that, because it's pretty awesome. And I wanted to talk with Nadine and see if there's anything that the 5D world could be or wants to get through to me, like just actually knock me over the head and see what I need to do.
Well, we don't want to be knocked over the head. Let's offer the universe, Gus, God, universe, spirit, however you want to call it. I say Gus, just to cover all bases. And I'll ask you, do you want it in butterflies or do you want it in grizzly bears? The information or the lessons? Butterflies or grizzly bears?
I guess butterflies.
I would suggest butterflies for sure.
Okay.
I don't want to be smacked up on the side of the head anymore either. Okay. So my agreement go ahead, honey.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm like, I love that you had to think about it. That was awesome. But maybe you like, it's hard though, Sue, because maybe some people like grizzly bears.
Well, that's a really good point because that's a really good point because there's so many people that have an addiction in their body to the grizzly bear. That's stress reaction because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening in your body when you get the endorphins released and you are addicted to those emotions, those feelings. So sometimes
I think that's why I had to think about it for a minute, because if it was a grizzly bear, I'm really going to get the message. If it's a butterfly, I'm going to maybe question the message.
Ooh, good point. Very good point. So being able to discern, look at you. You're discerning between the two. That's awesome. So I think, and this is in Colleen, what I was going to say earlier is, my agreement with Gus is I will stay in that heightened awareness so I can get those messages. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to communicate with me, Gus, then my agreement with you is I will stay in that awareness and I will receive those messages. But I would prefer to have them in butterflies versus grizzly bears.
That sounds perfect.
Yes. So that's my language with Gus. Does that feel right for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Nadine, how are you doing over there? Do you have
I'm good, thanks. The first thing that comes through for me with you is a mother figure. So I'm not sure if this is your mother who's crossed over or this is a grandmother. Is your mother crossed over? This is grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this who you're hoping to connect with today?
Excuse me?
Is this hoping you're trying to connect with today?
I would actually love to be connected with my son, but I don't know if that's
with your son.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you first came on, what I heard first was mother, mother, mother. Then I heard father. Then I heard son. So I know it's easy to say that now, but those are the three that came through first. So is your father crossed over at all?
No, my parents are both alive.
That's okay. So this is grandma and grandpa. Okay. So grandma and grandpa are bringing your son forward. Now, okay. I'm just going to see. So with your son, did he pass of something of the heart, chest, or lungs?
He was premature.
He was premature. Okay. So his lungs would have been underdeveloped?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so they bring him forward and they talk about, sorry, I'm trying to connect with them all, but,
we also have an active room in here to do today. Too.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. There's lots coming through, I know, at the same time, but, okay. So your son talks about, so you have a memory box of him. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so he talks about the box and having all his things in there, and he loves this. He loves this. He also talks about you checking back on it periodically. Did you just look at it recently, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he talks about you just having looked at it and taking things out and looking at them. He says, my mom thinks about me every single day. Every single day she thinks of me. Yeah. And he says, I love you so much. I love you so much. He says, big changes have been happening for you, Mom, and I'm so proud. He says, you've been making really big changes to heal yourself. And he loves this. He loves this. He says, because she hasn't quite healed from everything that happened with me. And he doesn't want you to have to carry that with you. He wants you to always think of him in joy and memories of joy. And he says, I'm right there with you. So when you are looking at the memory box and such, he's right there with you. Did he have dimples, or who has the dimples?
I don't know if he had dimples or I don't have dimples.
Okay, because he just smiled at me and showed me dimples. So I wasn't sure if this is him or one of your other children or what it was. But he just said, look at my smile and my dimples. But he's also showing me, did he have blonde hair, or is this just, because he just showed me that he's like a cherub. He looks like a cherub to me with the dimples, and he's all chubby and he has blonde hair. Does this make sense to you?
He was so tiny, and it looked like he was going to have dark hair.
Dark hair. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the way he's showing me, it's okay. On the other side, he's showing me blonde hair and dimples. So that's how he looks now. And because he's growing up on the other side, right? That's how they grow up on the other side. And your grandparents keep him nice and close and are always with him. So, but he says he wants to say thank you for everything that you did for him. And he wants to say thank you for having the heart to keep remembering him. He's like, she could have easily just, put me to the side or, tried to move on. He says, but she includes me in every day and talks about me often. So he loves that. So thank you.
What was that, Colleen?
It's every single day.
Mm.
And his birthday was August 21st. It was 1982. And I see 821 everywhere, every day, at least twice, 3 times, 4 times a day. So I think of him all the time.
Yeah.
But that's why I was wondering if
beautiful.
it was a message.
It is.
Well,
it
yeah,
is.
his spirit's with you every day. That's why he says, I know you think of me every single day. So his spirit stays close with you, and he's so proud of you. That's his biggest thing, is because he's growing up along beside you.
That's awesome.
Most
I
definitely.
was feeling like there was something I should have done to make this not happen. I don't know why it happened. Why
it's just the lesson. We have life lessons, and some are grizzly bears and some are butterflies, and he came to you for a purpose, right? So that you would have to experience what you experienced. And whatever we judge as good or bad, it's not really. It's for our souls, highest learning. Even when it hurts, it's still for our souls to learn. And it was just for you to have to go through that. He talks about jewelry, and he says, buy the jewelry. So did you just buy new jewelry, or were you looking at something?
I was looking at jewelry. I was actually looking at like chakra stones and crystals.
Yeah, he says buy it. Buy the jewelry. Treat yourself.
And I would start with the pink quartz, the rose quartz.
The rose quartz?
Yep, and it's good for healing the heart.
Okay.
Okay. May I say a couple things, love?
Yes.
What kind of things are you doing to bring joy into your life? So when the memory of your son comes up, it's in joy and love versus the sadness, because I want you to be able to get to a point in your life where it's all just pure joy, because that's what he wants too.
Yeah.
Creating that new memory, that new feeling in your body, that feeling of love.
Yeah.
If you can go back to that moment when he was in your womb, and that love and that bond that you felt, if you could go to that when he comes into you, when you see the numbers, if you can remember that love that you felt and have that expanded love versus that was so painful. Not to say that that's you can and you have permission to feel that. I just don't want you to get spun out in that. It's time. And he says it too. He's like, Mama, I want you. It's like this butterfly. I want you to expand. I want you to have that joy. I'm here. I'm happy. I want you to be able to experience that.
That makes me feel so good.
Oh, it does. And for you and your energy center, and for you to shift, you can the memory of him, and he will always be there. He's always going to be there. It's just let's bring in the expansion of energy and joy and love versus that contracted sorrow. Does that resonate with you, love?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Doesn't that feel so much better, and to have that memory and that frequency in your body versus the other one?
It does. It really, really does. I've been just holding this for so long.
And we don't want to do that. Your son doesn't want you to get sick, and we want to release all of that. We don't want your body to hold on to any of that, okay?
Yeah.
And I know this from mommy's point of view, and if it's something, you know, it's kind of like that fake it till you make it. If you can't do it for yourself right now, I want you to do it for your son. And I want you to do it for everybody else that's in the living world, and to really shine that joy and that love instead of the sorrow. Because that right there, in all of its pure essence, is going to change everything in your life. Everything. You know how we talked about during the challenge, we talked about the cognition tools and changing the frequency in our mindset.
And the CCs.
And the CCs, baby. Yes, the CCs. This is exactly where you're at. It's literally changing an old feeling, an old habit that's happening in your body, and changing that to love and trust, because that's what he wants for you too.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, you can say 5 more things.
Because he keeps talking to me the whole time, and it's based on kind of what Sue is saying, that when you think of him, we have to shift your memories to joy, right? More joy. He doesn't want you to hurt anymore over this, right? So he wants to support you in your healing journey, and for you to finally feel joy, with the experience that you had. We got to find a way to reroute it, right? So that it's nothing but joy. So this is what he says to me. He says, "Can you please tell my mom that I love baseball, and I love singing, and I love horses?" And those are his favorite things to do on the other side, is to ride horses and play baseball, and he sings all the time. So to let you know that he's growing up on the other side, and he has all these interests, and those are his favorite things to do. So if you think about baseball or him riding horses or him singing all the time, that's what he's doing. So just telling you how happy he is, and that life goes on.
My heart's bursting.
I feel it. I actually feel it in your stomach coming. How familiar are you with Dr. Joe's work? You've heard me talk about his work before.
Yes, I am a little bit, but not very much.
Okay, so when you're ready, I would like you to go on YouTube, and I want you to go and look at his videos. And he goes through a process and talks you through. There's science behind it, but it's a release of energy and tapping into Gus and that's just the basic layman of how I'm going to give the definition. But what keeps coming up for me is your energy centers. And I'm like, you've got to do the blessing of the energy centers. And I'm looking at you too. I've got 2 other people that are Dr. Joe, people, and we do the work, and I can feel so much in your abdomen. And I've been kind of loving on you a bit as we're talking, but the blessing of the energy centers meditation, I think, would be so profound for you to really get that energy moving. And especially moving that energy into the heart to open and expand that, and then to be able to speak your truth and speak in love and versus the sorrow and the sadness. Is that resonating? How's that feeling?
Yeah, that feels really good. I feel like I needed to hear from you guys for me to just move out of it.
Yes.
And I needed to hear from him to just move out of it.
Yes. And you know that as well as I do. You are going to be your biggest hurdle, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got that addiction in your body. It's it's a chemical reaction that's happening in your body. So you have to, again, build that willpower muscle like we talked about, and cross that bridge and just move forward through it. And when you're moving forward through it, you've got to remember that love and trust. Remember the cognition tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then with your body, you need to have some kind of release. And I would highly recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza's work in his meditations, for sure. Go ahead, Andrew,
yeah, there's
please.
just a really interesting thing that I just heard, which is Colleen just used the word, I want to move out of it. And Sue, you just used the word, I want to move through it. And I
Oh,
think it's a really important difference and distinction, that those subtle differences, the words that we use, are so important, that rather than move away from it or move out of it,
oh,
to move through it,
Wow.
yeah.
oh, I love that. Thank you, Andrew. Oh,
Mhm.
that was beautiful,
Yes,
wasn't
thank
it,
you.
Colleen?
It was beautiful.
Mm.
One thing
Nadine?
I want to say is that, I think his most important message for you today, like coming through my perspective from him, is that he is alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
He's alive and well.
It's not that dense.
Yeah, he's just on the other side, right? But so
Yeah.
he's alive and well, and he's with you, and he wants to let you know, like, okay, this is now how you have to think of me, right? These
Yeah.
are my interests. This is how happy I am. This is who I'm with, right? So he's coming through to tell you how to think of him now versus a moment in time. Like, don't be stuck in that moment, right? You got to,
Yeah.
like they're saying, move through it to the other side of it, and see how he is just in joy and love and peace and gets through all of his activities, and he's still alive, and you will meet him again.
Yeah.
Mm.
It'll take time, but in the meantime, he's over there growing and doing everything else. They keep coming back to the cherub, though. So do you have cherubs in your house or angels in your house, like
No.
figurines or
No, I
anything to do
don't.
with cherubs? Okay.
No.
It might be something that's coming up for you.
Yeah.
So just make a note of it, because I just keep seeing these blonde-haired, dimpled baby cherub angels. So it might be a gift that's coming to you, or I'm not sure, but just to make note of it. Anyways, he says, "I love you, I love you, I love you,
I love
and
them
Do
please
you
too.
be
hear
strong.
that? Yeah.
Please
Do you
be
hear
strong
that
for me."
joy? Yeah. Do you hear that joy in Nadine's voice?
Yeah.
That's what we want you to
That's
integrate. That's what he's saying. He's like, Mom, joy, joy, integrate that. Get that in your body. But in order to do that, you've got to make some real mental and physical changes, right? And you're shifting. I can feel it already. But
yeah.
you keep going, and hold on to that sensation, that feeling of joy and love from him, because now you have a new memory, a new neural pathway that's happening. Instead of the sorrow that happened, now we've put something new in its place. So you've got to keep rehearsing that.
Okay.
Okay?
That's so cool. That's so cool, Sue, because this can be your new memory of him.
100%. A
Right?
hundred
Like
and
talking to
hands
him
down.
today and
Yes.
and hearing him say, "I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm interested in these things, and I'm growing, and we'll see each other again, and I'm alive. I'm alive, and I'm
And
well."
don't be sad.
And
No.
don't be sad. He would never want you to carry that. That's
No.
just one moment in time, just one.
Okay, something's popping up. Colleen, I don't know if this is you or music. Elvis. Do you listen to Elvis, or was that be something that grandma would listen to make happy? Because, like, for me, if I need to put myself in an elevated state, it's disco, and I drive Benny nuts for my disco. But Elvis, and I don't know, maybe it's Elvis coming through, but is there music that you listen to?
I know my parents have listened to Elvis, but I
Hmm.
love country music.
Country music. All right. Well, get some. Go ahead, Nadine. I hear you.
I was gonna say, maybe you're taking a trip to Memphis.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be fun. I have a brother who
Yeah,
lives in Tennessee.
Ah,
well,
yay!
there you go. Maybe it's time to have a treat and go see Elvis's place in Memphis, and go
Yeah,
have a
your
trip and
son's
see
like,
your
"Oh, we're
brother.
going to Memphis. Take me. I'm
Yeah.
coming. I'm coming." All right. So, Colleen, we're going to take a commercial break, sweetheart. Please commit to changing yourself for your son and everybody else in your life, and that will evolve, and these dopamines and all these incredible things will start getting released in your body, and that's the feel good stuff that you want to keep doing, and your body will be going, "Oh, that's the dopamine. I like that," versus the other stuff, right? So if you can see
Yeah.
the dopamine and feel it and the bubbles and all of that, that would be where I'd want you to go.
Okay. Thank you all so, so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. And hydrate and rest, okay?
Yes.
All right, lovely. Let me know how it goes. All right, folks, we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to chat some more. We're going to take some phone calls. Maybe we've got a reading for Kasia or Andrew or myself. Who knows? Something's bubbling here. But if you'd like to call in, 1-888-298-5569, we will take your call. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Sue Lundquist here, the Bridge Coach, where spirituality meets practicality. That means it is my unique ability to bridge together the practical 3D with the spiritual 5D to create an explosive personal transformation. That can show up in confidence, purpose, speaking your truth, trusting in what you say and how you're showing up in this world. If all of this sounds good to you, go to SueLundquist.com for your free 15-minute phone conversation. Let's see if we're a good match. Go to SueLundquist.com and make an appointment.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, this is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I wanted to take a moment and let you know about a nonprofit organization called Give to Give. The Give to Give Foundation was created by a group of people who have studied my work or have participated in my workshops around the world. And by applying the principles of mind over matter and the mind-body connection, they've created outstanding changes in their lives or in their health, and they wanted to give back. The organization is dedicated to providing the proper resources to those people in need to gain the opportunity to learn exactly how to change their body or their lives. If you want to learn more about the Give to Give Foundation, or you know someone that needs help, or you simply want to make a donation, visit givetogive.com. Those who give don't always know how to love. Those who love always know how to give. Thank you.
Following the herd is fine until they lead you off a cliff. Think for yourself. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Oh, that's nice. Colleen, that was for you and the family and for all of us. I'm still buzzing, Nadine. I've got spirit and I got clingers. I got Klingons. Well, we could open up the phone lines or we could sit here and have a Gus conversation. What are you feeling, Nadine?
I love how you say Gus. I never even thought of it like that.
Isn't that beautiful? God, universe, spirit, because there's so many connotations with all of it. It's just Gus. It's just Gus. If it resonates for you, that's awesome. It's pure love for me. It's divine energy. It's scrumptious and yummy. So I call it Gus.
Nice.
Universal.
I like it.
Yeah.
Who's there's somebody's father who's stepping forward. So is anyone's father other than yours, Sue, crossed over that's in the studio?
You too?
I keep giving him permission to.
Is this your father?
This is my father, who is alive and holding on for some reason. I'm not sure why at this point. And I very purposely.
He's transitioning. He's transitioning over.
Looking at his physical body, I would say everyone would expect that. But when you ask how he's doing, he's still got life in his eyes and he's excited, and he reads or pretends to read every day. You find him with the book upside down, and you're like, "What are you reading, Dad?" Another Tom Clancy. Okay.
So he's still physically here.
Yes, he is.
In this world, but he can't speak.
He does speak, but not a lot.
Okay.
And when I say I'm giving him permission, I don't know how much quality of life he has. And so if he's just holding on for me or my family, I've just been recently giving him permission, like, you don't need to be here for us. Like it's okay if you're ready to go, when you're ready to go, and if you're not, that's okay too. But just I don't think he's thought a lot about death or the other side. I don't think a lot of people have. And in the work that I'm doing in meditation and the experiences that I've had, I'm fascinated by it. I love it. I love the idea of the other side and knowing that there's no difference between here and there. And so to give someone permission to be okay to do that, it sounds weird to tell people that I've, told my father, non-verbally, of course, in my meditations, that when he's ready, it's okay to go.
And I think that's super important, because not only is it important that you're giving him permission to go, but you're also giving yourself permission to let go.
Right.
Yes.
And I do see this a lot with people who are losing someone or they're transitioning to the other side, so to speak. And I mean, I did the same thing with my father when he was going. I gave him permission, like, you can go, Dad, we're okay. I did it verbally because that's just how our family is. But yeah, to give them permission to cross or whatever it is you have to do. But also you can teach them, like, you can prepare them for what's to come. Like with my dad, I worked with him lots to prepare him for what to expect, to almost get them excited about going to the other side. It's like they're going on a trip, right? It's like you're going to move, you're going to go and experience these new things, and it's going to be beautiful, and no more pain or anything like that. So, and I mean, always just feel free to say anything and do anything. I always tell my clients that, just, feel free to say what you need to say and ask what you need to ask, and do what you need to do.
Go
ahead.
And I also think that overall the topic of death is not, it's not comfortable topic, and we are not taught how to be with it and how to look at it, because we only see disappearance of physical body, which to a lot of people, it means that you're gone. You don't exist anymore. And I had recently experience of someone dear to me crossing on the other end, and I'm actually happy and so grateful for actually universe giving me an experience or time to be in a place that I can appreciate that transition, to see it from totally different perspective, and in some way to be happy. There's human emotion, there's grief, there's sorrow, but you can much easier to transform it into pure love, knowing that that person is within you and with you all around you.
And I'm speaking from intimate experience here too, as well. And losing multiple, or not losing, transitioning, watching multiple people transition and moving over. And I want to have the conversation to those that possibly are listening, because there was something that you said, or we're talking about something very delicate, and that's allowing our loved ones who are in 3D to cross over. And then that means we are losing them in our human form, what we're used to hugging, what we're used to touching, we're having a conversation with here. And what we're saying, or I'm going to say, excuse me, it's okay to have that fear and that anger that's coming up, but again, let it come out and through, because that's a normal process. That's the grieving. Allow it to come. So if what we're saying to you, you're getting a little stung by it, or there's some questions coming up, it's a little stingy, because I know when this was first coming up for me and having people cross over, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I don't want that to happen. And I would get upset and I'd get fearful and I'd want to hold on and contract, when in fact, release and surrender. Yeah, just release and surrender. And that makes for the whole, the energy of the whole. And then also the person transitioning, giving them permission and the freedom, because they're holding on. They can feel it. They're holding on because there's some kind of sense of responsibility that's happening.
And I also think what I find very important is that we need to let go of the judgment, because we hold for ourselves, we judge ourselves as well. I think we feel the judgment that comes from society, that's something, that
bingo.
There's something wrong with that approach.
Yeah, totally. Andrew, Nadine, anybody?
I have a message for Andrew coming from Gus.
Gus and I go way back.
Yeah, Gus and you go way back. Yeah. But so what I heard them say is to read to your father.
There you go.
So he's not
I like
faking it.
Yeah.
He's not turning the books upside down. He's like, Dag nabbit, son, read to me.
I like it.
But this is it's a very beautiful bonding experience, something that you'll both always remember. And it's something that he'd really, really enjoy.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give that a try.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
That's awesome. You could read to him Dr. Joe's work, or you could read to him about a book across and over.
He asks me all the time about Dr. Joe. He met him 20 years ago, again 15 years ago, and he's, oh, well, where are you going next? I'm like, oh, I'm off to Berlin. And how's Dr. Joe? I'm like, oh, he's good. I really would like to see him. He was actually, my father was a meeting planner. He planned meetings and events and conferences and conventions. So I've kind of followed in his footsteps, and he's super proud, and he loves Dr. Joe. And so he's like, I think I want to go and speak at one of his events sometime. Because he used to be a speaker. Yeah, exactly. That's what's going on in my mind. You'll be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll be there.
Just keep your attention there. You'll be there.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So Nadine, I'm going to ask you: is there anybody else in Gusville that would be popping in for us in studio? Are you getting anybody else?
One, the only thing I keep going back to Andrew's dad is what I keep connecting with. I'm just going to stay there for now because they are not finished with your dad yet. So, what is your dad's connection? Does your dad have a connection to horses? Like, did he grow up in the country? Has he ever rode horses or anything like that? Or has he ever talked about riding horses?
No, not that he's talked to me about. He grew up in Hungary.
Okay.
Came over here.
Have you ever asked him about horses?
No.
There you
go. I will now.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a conversation you should have with him, because there's something to do with horses and your dad, whether he loves them or he rode them or he feels like he wants to ride them again. Like maybe it's on his bucket list. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But ask your dad about the horses and what his connection is.
Oh my God.
Horses.
I just had this. Okay, Andrew, I'm just going to share this with you. Just this pop up. Setting up the camera and having a conversation with your dad about Hungary and all of that, and just you two having that conversation.
Yeah, it's actually something I've thought about doing quite a bit, and I just haven't done it. But it's one of those things like
it's time.
To give him also that. I mean, he was also literally a film producer director as well, and to give him that opportunity to share that story that he actually didn't talk about very much when we were growing up. He didn't talk about. He kind of tried to close it off. I mean, he was born, raised Jewish, and during the war, he came over here and kind of denounced it and was like, no, this isn't who I am. So we all grew up not knowing that my father was Jewish.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
you go and you do a DNA test, and it's like, oh, hey, you're 50% Jewish. Well, all right. we thought so, but we didn't know for a long time, because I just hope that he lived every day not thinking about that, and just he made the decision. It was a really firm decision, and he let it go for the rest of his life, and he changed his body, he changed his mind, and that was it. Versus if he thought about it every day, I'm lying to my family, I'm leaving this behind, I'm pushing away my past, all these emotions and these feelings that could really be stuck with him, and maybe that's something that by talking about it on camera and telling that story, he can let go of that.
They're saying, yes, it's time. Like big time.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Make the time. No more. It's
right,
time.
Right.
I keep getting like my throat. Is there somebody? I'm like, literally, I feel like I can't breathe. I'm choking like I'm being suffocated.
That might be my dad. You might be picking up on my dad, Sue.
Yeah, and I'm like lightheaded and dizzy.
Yeah, it could be my dad. He had throat cancer. He passed from throat cancer.
Well, I thought I had an agreement with Spirit that they weren't supposed to make me feel this stuff. What's going on?
There's a lot of energy.
Good luck. Good luck with trying to keep boundaries with Spirit. They forget easily. You have to keep telling them.
I just saw Ralph. Is that your dad?
Richard, my dad, but it's hard because my husband was Richard and my dad is Richard, and it would both be like throats.
They're not giving me much. It's more about emotions and feelings right now. They're like they're wanting me to feel their feeling, and I'm like, you guys, you got to stop because I'm literally I can't.
Yeah.
You guys got to stop and just give me the message. There's a message of love coming through, but I need them to. I need them to know that I feel them. I feel you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's dissipating. Because I don't,
Nice.
because and we were just having this conversation last night. I'm like, guys, we have a contract here. I don't want to feel how you've crossed over.
Butterflies.
Butterflies.
That's why I say to them, I'm like, okay, I get it. Take it off me.
Yep. I got you. Y'all need to come off. Can I ask how was it grandma or mom? Was that through heart?
Mm-hmm.
Pressure of the heart?
Mm-hmm.
Could she not speak at the end?
No, I think she could, but it was. I think it was definitely something with her heart, either a heart attack.
Massive pressure in my heart. Are you picking up? Can you help me out with this translation at all, Nadine? Because I've got so much pressure in my heart.
So when you feel, Sue, when you feel like could she not speak in the end? If she could still speak in the end, it could mean something like, was everything said? Do you feel like you didn't get to say everything you wanted to say?
Actually, I am. It will sound weird, but I feel very pleased how everything unfolded because I actually was able to talk to her on a day that she passed, and I was able to call her. I said, "I love you. Thank you for everything." She said, "I love you too." And then a couple hours later, she passed away.
What are those dolls? Those dolls that they come big and then you take them apart and you put them in and you take. What are those dolls?
The Russian.
What are those? Yeah. I'm getting tingles all over my body. Is that something with your family or?
I know when I was a kid, I used to have one, and you play with it
all the time. Like
you would just disassemble and like take the bigger piece and then take another one and then just get to the bottom. It's almost like taking the layers off.
Okay, that's grandma because she's now leaving my body. So that was grandma. She was putting so much pressure on my heart. Nadine, can you help me tap into this conversation? Because I've got so much pressure in my body right now that she's finally releasing because she knows that we've made connection.
So is this grandma or is this mother?
Grandma.
Grandma that you're connected. Okay, got it. Did grandma die at home? Or sorry, did she pass away at home by chance?
It started, the process started at home, but she transitioned in a hospital.
Okay, because the way she makes me feel is like I feel at home, I feel at peace. She shows me like blankets, so I don't know if she had blankets from home or something for blankets. So, or do you have her blanket? She keeps showing me blankets, like I have blankets from home or clothes from home. Like I feel like I'm at home in a bed when I pass away, but you're saying she's in the hospital. So I'm trying to understand why I'm getting this image. So if it doesn't make sense to you, it might be something that makes sense later, but I'm seeing blankets. So my symbol for when I see blankets is either somebody made blankets, like they were really good with their hands and they used to knit blankets or create blankets, or you have their blanket.
My grandma was very talented, so I would have, I still have a lot of crochets and things that she made, like a tablecloth that was
the knitting.
The knitting.
Yes,
she would make me stuff. So definitely, I don't know the details because I wasn't there.
But it makes sense. The knitting. That's the connection.
Knitting, yes.
Yeah.
So I would ask your mom or anyone who would know about these things if they have her blankets or if she had them in the hospital, something like that, because she's bringing that across. She says, "Thank you for helping me." So I'm not sure if you had help in her care or you always just like prepared her for, like we were talking about earlier, preparing her for what's to come, giving her such kindness and such love. But she is such a loving, nurturing person as well. Like she seems like somebody who always makes people feel good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And does she have like little candy dishes all the time? Like, you know how grandmas usually have like the candy dish with like the mints in it or something? Or she shows me like, I know, but she just showed me a candy dish. So I'm not sure if she was big on sweets or she always had candy in the house or gave
she
you
loved
candy.
to bake, and she loved like sugar, like everything that was so sweet.
Me too. Me too. Let's bake, Grandma.
Yeah.
Sugar. Yeah. Lots of sugar.
We were just
Well,
listening to that song on the way in.
Oh, really? Sugar,
yes,
sugar?
yeah,
That one? No
yes,
way.
yes, by Maroon 5, Sugar.
Awesome.
I'm gonna need some shaking off. I got some grandma or something going on here. Whew.
So I would just say to them, take that off me. Thank you for the message. Take it off me.
Take it off me, please. Thank you for the message.
Yeah. And then you can cut cords.
Yes.
Cut cords with
I'm gonna
spirit.
go
Cut
wash
cords
my
with
hands
the spirit.
and yes.
Yeah.
So we've
have to do.
got a few more minutes.
Those dolls, by the way, are the Matryoshka dolls.
Matryoshka, yes.
Thank you very much,
Wow,
Benny.
that was
You know,
impressive.
Well, I
that
can
is.
look it up too.
Yeah.
Only on how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, the ones that you
Yep.
take them out and put them in. Yeah, I'm showing that. That's symbolistic for something somewhere.
Somebody's moving. That's all I keep getting. Who's moving or just moved?
We're all looking at each other.
In transition.
In transition.
In transition.
In transition, undefined destination.
Yeah.
Undefined, yeah.
There you go. Undefined. No, but somebody's going to be moving. If they haven't moved already.
That could be.
There's a move.
Could be.
There's a move coming.
We're just on the move all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that hits close home.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah. Yeah, lots of transitioning for sure. So we have about 4 more minutes. Is there anything, Nadine, any of you that you guys would like to express, love, talk about? It'll go pretty quick. Anybody? You've got to speak, dear.
Does anybody have questions about how this works or how Sue and I get our messages?
Oh, that would be awesome to know. Yeah. How do you get the downloads? I call it downloads. I don't know.
Yeah, we had this
downloads.
conversation last night. You know, the downloads or the frequency we tap in, tap it, all of a sudden there's a shift of energy. Yeah, what happens in your body?
Well, for me, I'm a physical medium, which means I feel like how Sue doesn't like that. That's how I channel. So I feel physically in my body, like how they passed away or any kind of ailments they might have had. I feel it physically. I see images in my mind, like pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see like a movie in my mind. And other times they talk to me directly. Sometimes it'll be symbolic. Sometimes it'll be literal. So it's basically like me and Sue always say, it's like a game of charades with a body of light.
Yes.
So we don't necessarily know unless they speak to me directly. Like the messages are usually really direct, like when the loving messages. But when we're seeing them or whatever, we have to interpret them. Right. So I'll say, oh, I'm seeing this cherub and I'll see it over and over again, like with that last caller. But if she's not connecting to it, spirit won't drop it.
Yeah.
So it's something that's going to happen later because spirit is really repetitive. And I'm sure you guys are aware of that, when that message is coming in and spirit's
Andrew's like
drilling it
we all
into
are.
you, get to the gym, But the same goes for when we're talking to spirits or guides on the other side, is that they will repeat and repeat and repeat until we say it to the person or until we get it right. And sometimes if I'm not getting it right, I'll say, re-show me.
Yes.
In a different way, right? Because we're not connecting to whatever way they're trying to show. So they'll either re-show me or they'll just keep hammering me with the same image. And I have to say, take this with you. Maybe it'll make sense later. And I'm telling you, 10 times out of 10, it makes sense later.
Yeah, it's the psychic amnesia. We've done that before. Oh, we got 1 minute. Yeah, yes, definitely.
I've had some moments like that, being shown an image where I didn't understand. So I said, show me again.
Yes.
And it shows me again. I still don't understand. And the third time, all of a sudden, it's the exact same image,
yes.
but there's an understanding that came with it the third time that suddenly this message was understood by the exact same image shown to me the third time.
So stay with it. There's a message.
Yeah.
Stay
Just
with it and keep asking questions. And do this in love, you guys. What we're talking about, Gus, and the tapping in, it's divine love. That's all it is. The other stuff, that's Hollywood personifying it in the media. Trust in love, love and trust. With that, we've had an incredible show. Thank you so much for the conversation. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much for the love. We will see you guys next week. And until then, each of you are a gift. Get out there and share yourself with the world.
If you like the show, help more people find us by adding your review of the show on iTunes. The more reviews we get, the more people we can reach with this inspiring message on the Gratitude Cafe. Simply search for Gratitude Cafe in iTunes, hit subscribe, and add your honest review. It would help us immensely and we'll be forever grateful. It's one of the best ways you can give back to the show with your review. Thanks for tuning in to the Gratitude Cafe. Don't forget, every week is a new show, and you could submit your questions at SueLundquist.com/Gratitude Cafe. The show goes live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in Seattle on Seattle's Alternative Talk AM 1150. You can also call in to the show at 425-373-5527 or 888-298-5569. Find the live streaming link at SueLundquist.com/Gratitude Cafe. We'll see you next week. The preceding audio was via a Skype call.